and I will now call on Pauline Tully, our last Cahira, to say a few words.
Good morning to everyone. It's good to see someone here in the committee room. Thank you for the interesting report. I want to first of all acknowledge again the Chair and the members of the committee for all the work that they do. I think we work very well together, and it's cross-political, but politics doesn't come into it whatsoever. And I also want to acknowledge Maria, Tracy and all the team here. Again, without whom we would not have this report today. But a more important element without whom we would not have the report are all of those who have come in, many of you who have come in here and shared your lived experience or your expertise on the different services. And that's what's guided us here. And I suppose the report is broken into 4 chapters. And what's common across all the 4 chapters is the recommendation that all of them need to be seen through the UNCRPD lens. And that everything that is done here as well needs to be done with not just consultation, but robust consultation with DPOs and priority stakeholders, and to ensure that it's meaningful and that any of the consultation and the recommendations are taken on board. One of the things we've consistently called for in this committee here, and we will continue to do, is the ratification of the optional protocol. We also need to see an implementation plan. I hope you can hear me anyway. So we also need to see an implementation plan for the UNCRPD because that hasn't been produced. And what we need to see are all departments working together across departmental approach. At the moment, where I see it is departments are working, and some are doing very good work in relation to disability area, but they're working in silos, and that can't continue to happen. We also need to see the disability capacity review implementation plan brought forward. That has been promised a long time and still hasn't materialised. And there's no point in carrying out and doing all that work to carry out a capacity review and then not to put an implementation plan in place to enact its recommendations. And we need to see ongoing awareness as well. And so a strategy around that, how we could create ongoing awareness on issues affecting disabled people. And I just also say that many DPOs have been in with us, and the consistent ask of them has been more funding and more support so that they can actually engage and make sure that their consultation is meaningful and accessible to them. So, we're calling for additional funding. I suppose, as well as being UNCRPD focused, it has to be person-centred focused and planning around the person at all times. So, for example, day services need to be aligned with the UNCRPD, but they need to be upholding rights, we need to ensure that disabled people at all times are at the centre of what's being planned and being offered, and that their voices are being heard, and that it's their decision. One of the chapters is on children's disability services, and that's one that is close to my heart because I hear an awful lot about that. I have a lot of representations from parents in particular around the lack of services for children in the community, and the CDNTs and the whole progressive disability model, which is in crisis point, and that's the way it needs to be looked at. It is an absolute crisis. So we need to see a cross-departmental, government approach to how this is going to be rectified before it's too late for those children. Children now who need interventions, who need supports, are not getting them, and they're not going to be able to live their best lives if they don't. So one of our recommendations is looking at the National Treatment Purchase Fund as an option to purchase AON or services. I've had many parents tell me that the CDNT has been in touch to say their child is part of the team, but services, they can't give them a date for services. That's a disgrace. So other parents have been told, we have a date for services and it's 2025 or it's 2026. That's devastating for parents. Parents need support, children need support. So we need, I think, to review the Disability Act of 2005 to strengthen the statutory right to services for children, not just the AON, but the services as well. But we need to come up with a way that can be delivered so that children receive what they need, when they need it, at the earliest possible age. And the Epson Act is being reviewed at the moment. It makes no sense to me why the Disability Act wouldn't be reviewed at the same time. They're supposed to work in tandem. And we need to be looking at, again, a more inclusive model of education moving forward as well. So some way of bringing progressing disabilities and the social inclusion model together to offer supports to children in school and at home. I suppose other issues that are highlighted is the personal assistance service, which again is totally underfunded, and it prevents people, disabled people, from living an independent life. And again, that needs to be properly resourced and based on the person's need. So different people have different needs, and the personal assistance service will allow them maybe to live independently or to work or to pursue education. So again, that model needs to be invested in and pursued. So look, I am delighted, as I said, to see so many people here, and look forward to your interaction and questions afterwards. But and I hope that you will find that the work that's been put into this is reflective of the witnesses of your deliberations in this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.